All right, here we go. Seattle Sports Weekly, and we are off and running. Absolutely off and running. Where are we running to? Man, we're just running. There's so many multiple places to run to, but the one where everybody knows the city is running to Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, and that would be, you got it, home of Super Bowl 60. And so, I think Seattle's pretty buzzing around the town. You saw the win by the Hawks, 31-27 over the LA Rams. And I think talked to quite a lot of people. And I think it's only today that people are now just kind of finding their footing in because of the win. Seahawks are back in the Super Bowl, and they will play. Of course, they will play the New England Patriots. It's a bit of a rivalry there, going back. So it was an exciting night, and, let the hype begin for those that are just now getting on the track. But many of y'all have been on this journey with us. I did not say Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl, but on the weekly show, we've been bringing you, updates and insights, and we'll continue to do that. And it's been fair enough, stacking plays. So what we're going to do is we'll talk about kind of the X's and the O's on the other side of the show. Of course, we got locker room interviews and those kinds of things. But what we're going to do right now is the Seahawks have this theme song, and it is buzzing. And it really, I was so impressed because it encapsulates what you all have heard about Mike Macdonald, stacking plays, 12 as one, and, all 50, all 73, and then 53-man roster. And just that Mike Macdonaldism and what the players have said and what you've heard him say here is in this theme. And it's catchy. And obviously it was written by Emmy award-winning artist. Happens to be my cousin, but that's not irrelevant, but that's just, the coincidence there. And I told you we played it last week, and I said I'm going to try to get him on. And man, oh man, did he kind of change his schedule around and find some time to come on the show. And we're going to play it, talk to him, because it's quite a lot y'all might not know about him. Not only music, but a very, very talented individual, family man, and a traveler, and a sports fan, obviously. So, Draze, are you available to come on the show? Looks like he's not there yet. So let me try to get him on. But yeah, so he wrote this theme song, and why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and let's play? We're gonna go ahead and play the theme, and let's do that, D-Money. Let's play the video, and then he just came on. Of course, he just came on. He's always on time. That's it about musicians. They always right on time. So, my man, Draze, are you on the show? Did you find the time to kind of give us a moment, break us a little something?
Man, I finally got the invite. You know what I mean? I finally got the official invite. People, This is my cousin, my family, my big cuz, and he been sunning me. He wouldn't let me come on the show. I'm finally here. Mama, I made it. You know my mom's down too. She's downstairs. I'm gonna tell her Mukoma Ma has finally put me on the show.
Hey man, thank you for coming on. And first of all, nobody gets invited to their house. How you gonna to your house? Oh man, thank you so much, and say hello to Mainin. That's my Mainin. You know that? Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, I should have put Draze Maraire up there so that they know it's Maraire. We're here, the family, the brothers.
You know what? You and I know they can look and go, oh yeah.
Look at that.
Going on there.
Yeah.
Oh, so great. How are we gonna go? So you know what? Why don't we play the theme song and then we'll just break it all down. And as everybody knows that watches the show, we're all over, and you know that. And Maraire, we just, we're Oracle, so we just talk and weave our way. But D Money, let's start with the anthem. Let's hear
Mob on 3, 1, 2, 3.
M.O.B. M.O.B.
Yeah.
M.O.B. M.O.B.
You are now entering the death zone.
M.O.B.
Welcome to the dark side.
M.O.B.
It's time to eat, boys.
M.O.B.
Mob mentality.
M.O.B.
And when we say mob, we mean mission over. Welcome to the dark side. When you see that blue and green, know it's mob ties. Defending every blade of grass when we collide. It's Seattle when it's raining and we outside. Yeah, we outside, everybody outside. Whole city going up like it's our time. You hungry, we can provide some beef up front and pancakes from my old line. It goes down in these trenches, and Murphy is a goon that I mentioned. I got a big cat and a K9, stat on the goal line, so holla at me when it's go time. 21, can you do something for me? I'm everywhere like I'm E-Man Warren. Wait, hold up, I gotta shout out my African Ian Jigba. You know he's sicker than most. When he run the post, he getting ghosts. When we flex, we don't skip steps, we do the reps. E. Jones told us that's how you build a legacy. Some game from your boy Draze and the
M.O.B. 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 M.O.B.
You are now entering the death zone.
M.O.B.
Welcome to the dark side.
M.O.B. 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 You're in the death zone. Welcome to the dark side.
12 as one, you know how we do it. Better bring your hard hat when you can illumine. What you know about the death zone? We don't want it easy, we rather work for it. That's the time we on. Going crazy in the hot snatch. Man, we got this thing feeling like a mosh pit. Focus, man, mission over bullshit. But we don't talk about that Super Bowl, I'm still sick. It's still shout out to the LOP, but my young boys popping and it's M.O.B. Big Mike brought us back, now we starting to believe. Now it's everything earned and there ain't nothing free. When that D-line coming and them linebackers hunting and the hot get to swooping and the crag get to busting and the secondary swarming and the quarterback slanging, feel like everybody's open. You rocking with the M.O.B.
M.O.B.
Yeah.
M.O.B. M.O.B.
You are now entering the death zone.
M.O.B.
Welcome to the dark side.
M.O.B.
You boys got 53.
M.O.B.
We got 70.
M.O.B.
Mob on
You're in
3.
the death zone.
1, 2, 3, mob.
You are now entering the death zone. Welcome to the dark side.
Incredible.
Thank you, sir.
AI, who I don't know, believe said this. Produced by Vitamin D, the track embraces a gritty, intense, and aggressive tone with lyrics focusing on the death zone, themes of resiliency, hard work, and the team's 53-man roster. How did you put it all together?
Honestly, man, it was a genuine passion for the team. Like, this was one of those, like, I don't do theme songs. I'm not into them. I don't like them. They're corny. You know what I mean? But I do authenticity, right? And I had an authentic season with these guys. I've fallen in love with them over the years. And there was just something about when we beat San Francisco, right? So when we beat San Francisco after the last game of the season, we beat the San Francisco 49ers. And in that game, when it was over, I was like, yo, I got to do this. I gotta do this. You know what I mean? I love this team. I knew we were the number one seed. It was time. And from there, you know, the wheels started turning, and I want to say about a week later, it was history.
It's 7 days.
Yeah. So the day I got it, so I got the idea. I texted Vitamin D, who's the producer. I texted him, and because I was like, I needed a beat. I wanted something West Coast. I needed it to be a banger because it couldn't be corny, right? So I hit him. I was like, yo, Vita, I need a banger. I need it to sound like a West Coast banger. He said to me, okay, I'll have it to you. This was in the morning around 10 o'clock. He says, I'll get it to you by tonight. 30 minutes later, he dropped that track in my phone. So he moved. He was just inspired. So when I got the track, I pressed play on it. I'm sitting in my kitchen, and my wife was in the living room, and she was like, I like that beat. And I was like, okay. And then Yasha, my daughter, comes out, and she was like, Dad, I like that beat. And I was like, okay. So I wrote the song that day. So the first day I jumped on it, wrote the song. The next pieces was just getting into the studio. I got into the studio the next day. After that, there was some mixing and mastering, you know, that type of process stuff. And then you start thinking, what do we want to do for cover art? And you know what I mean? And how do we get a video for it? And how do we take it to the next level? So it was a lot of work. It was kind of sun up to sun up, but it moved rapidly. Yeah.
And you straddle Seattle and LA. Was this done in LA, or did you have to fly up here? How was the logistics done?
Logistics were dope. I was in LA, Vitamin D's in Seattle, so he sends me the track. I go to a studio in LA, and then I took my daughter, I took Nyasha with me to the studio. She's the voice on there going MOP, right? So she's so dope. She's such a dope artist. I knew she could kill it. She did that. But then I needed another voice to do Welcome to the Dark Side, right? And so I hit another artist. Her name is Frankie, who's from Seattle. She's huge. I hit her up and I was like, yo, Fran, I need you to give me something that sounds like the Hunger Games. You know what I mean? I want you to say,
absolutely. But yeah, go ahead.
And I was like, give me that Welcome to the Dark Side. So I actually just sent it to her. About an hour later, she sent me back the vocals. And that was it. I mean, it was really people in different places and spaces all working together to make it happen. And then for the cover art, what was really dope is I hit this cat named Creative Lou, who's an artist from Seattle. Everybody on this is dope from the CD. Frankie's from the CD, Vitamin D, myself, everybody's like a Central District track. So I hit Creative Lou. He's one of our finest artists. He does he's done stuff for Starbucks and Microsoft and all these big companies. And so he created this. He really wants to do like a jersey for the Seahawks one day, right? Like a dark side jersey. So I was like, well, just capture that vision. We'll make it the cover art and let's go with that. You know what I mean? And so all the pieces came together pretty quickly.
You're an Emmy winning artist. Just synergy. How do you find that, create that? Because clearly what this shows is that once you do tap into it, it's magical. But how do you create that?
Yeah, great question. I a lot of people may or may not know, I write music for television shows, commercials, and things like that, right? So it's kind of this left brain, right brain thing. There's an artist part of me that is me creating music for Draze, right? Like, and that's the Draze fan. That's the real hip hop fan who loves hip hop music, African music, real music, raw music. That's me. But then there's another side. My day job, what a lot of people don't know, is I write music for all types of shows. If there's a Campbell Soup commercial with Jaden Daniels, right? That's been running all year. So I did the music for that. I did, if you watching Netflix, Absentia's on there right now, just dropped on there a couple weeks ago. I did songs on that, right? So I have over 10,000 placements of songs all over the world. If you watch SportsCenter, NFL Network, ESPN, I'm on there every week. If you watch any of those, if you watch the SportsCenter, you may not know you're listening to me, but you're listening to me, right? So that process has trained me how to write for a specific theme, right? Because I get a brief where somebody at ESPN might say, we want a high energy song that feels like this. or somebody at a company might say, can you give us a song that is a country blues hip hop mix that feels like a party, or you know what I mean? And so it's my job to kind of lock in. And I think all of that training, when this moment came, I knew no one was giving me a brief. The brief was the Seahawks, what I watch, the interviews. I watch you every week do interviews with the Seahawks, right? And I hear the questions, and I've heard you unpack the mentality. That you do a lot of unpacking the mentality of the dark side, and you'll ask a lot, what does this mean? What does this mean to you guys? And all those questions I've been soaking up over the years as a fan. So when it was time to write this, all the lyrics just came to mind easy. A 12 as one, you know what I mean? Let's eat. You know what I mean?
Edges.
Yeah. Like all of that was like, I felt like one of the teams. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it does sound like that. It's authentic, absolutely. And well, you talked about it. Seattle Central, the CD. Where was that upbringing? And then you went to your local boy, as the English soccer people would say, from a local high school. Tell us a little bit about that. Just
yeah, shout out to Franklin Quakers. You know what I mean? Always, you know what I mean? And at that point, I gotta give a little. I should throw a little whatever to the Garfield Bulldogs. We always gotta throw some shade their way. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be right if we didn't. But
well,
yeah.
They're not feeling very well. I
Yeah.
I ref their Beach and Garfield game last Friday, so yeah, they need to talk, a little sympathy. But let's move on.
Yeah, man. I'm a Central District. I was really born and raised kind of in the Central District, moved to the South End. So I really consider myself Central District South End just simply because the community has been so gentrified that at this point we're all one, and we need to be all one because that's the preservation of Black community in the Northwest. And so I rep that hard no matter where I go around the world. You know what I mean? I make music that reflects that. Throughout the tone of my music, there's always something very Seattle about it, right? In the past, I've done songs on gentrification, The Hood Ain't the Same, Irony on 23rd. And even now, even the dark side still has those tones. You know what I mean? You hear it in the music, in the sound. This is a very Central District sound that is, it's got the Bay Area vibes. I ain't gonna lie about that. It was a shout out to the Bay Area, but I'm saying it's also got our own little Central District South End touch to it. Whenever you have Vitamin D and Draze on something, it's gonna get, a little bit of those elements. So I grew up here doing music my whole life. I am a music being in Seattle. I know the scene well. I'm tapped into it. I love it. It's one of the best, like, raw, pure music scenes in the world. So that's kind of my Seattle music, Franklin High School plug,
But and then your music, which continued to grow and obviously just became national, then became international. There was kind of a turn there. And can you explain to us how that came about, and then your trip, overseas, and what that was like, and how that enhanced your music and obviously who you are as an African?
Yeah. So for those who don't know, my family and our family is from Zimbabwe. And my father, the late great Dumisani Maraire Sr., I am his junior, and my mother, Laura Chiora, really sparked a musical revolution in the Northwest, bringing marimba music and mbira music, traditional music of Zimbabwe, to America, and sparking something that is around the country. And as a child, I grew up playing music, playing marimbas, mbiras, drums, dance, embracing that part of my culture, and traveling the world doing it. I've traveled to Korea, Guam, Japan, all throughout Europe, performing African music. And so as a child, you grow up here in America, right? So at home, I'm listening to Thomas Mafumo, you know what I'm saying? But when I go to school, I'm listening to NWA, you know what I mean? And so I think throughout my journey as a music person, as humans, you just love music, right? If you hear a good song, doesn't matter if it's country, rock and roll. If you like a song, you like it. I've always loved music. But as I got older and I became a hip hop artist and embraced the music of my time and my generation, I always knew I would merge hip hop and Zimbabwean music at some point, right? It's kind of like, and there were elements of it all throughout. I have songs going all the way back to, I remember our first album I was a part of was an album called Cave.
I
And that was
have
with
that.
me.
You know, I have that.
Yeah, you got to.
I got
And that's with my two brothers, Tendai and Zianai.
yeah.
And we put out Cave, but at the beginning of that album, we start talking about P35B, which is the address of my grandmother in Nangamvuda in Zimbabwe, right? And so we've always been teasing elements of it. But as you said recently, I want to say maybe about 5-6 years ago, I really, leaned into the international side, the Zimbabwean side. And so I've been able to build a really strong following throughout Zimbabwe. I released a single called, oddly enough, Mazvita. I released a song, and it went up to number 3 on Star FM charts in Zimbabwe. And I actually have a whole album. Nobody knows this. I have a whole album coming, full of Zimbabwean music and hip hop blended together. And so, yeah,
Thanks for the exclusive. So we get a little exclusive.
I haven't mentioned it anywhere, but it's coming. I got to finish it. This whole movement and what's happening right now has sparked me to say, I'll give you this. I created I was creating the album, and to your point, a few years ago, my grandmother, Jane Shura, passed away. And so I had to travel back home to Zimbabwe and go to bury her and to be with family. And in that time, I just kind of embraced everything, family, culture, food, everything, and just soaked it up. And then I took a pause from doing the album. I just stopped. I just kind of, maybe it was a grieving process. I don't know. She was so important and the matriarch of the family. And she was like this staple who's always been there in my life. She's in her 90s and now she's gone. And you kind of, I don't know, it impacted me enough for me to pause music. I haven't done any music personally since then. And so now I'm kind of in honor of her, my mother, my father, I'm picking it back up. And so, yeah, I mean, to your question of how did that trip impact me, that's how it impacted me. It paused the album so that I can grieve and appreciate and inhale the moment. And now I'm ready to get back to it. So
you were also into sports, right? I mean, you did play it, I think, at Franklin.
A little bit.
Yeah, got on the field.
Yeah.
And then you did little basketball promotions. Can you talk about that? Because you were using that to help. You've always been an entrepreneur. I think that runs in our family to give back, right? But there was the Adonai Classic. Can you talk a little bit about that and how you continue sports and to give back to the community?
Yeah. So my sports journey goes all the way back to CAYA, everybody. Youth sports program in the Central District. I was a part of, to me, the first great AAU team in Seattle. We were called the Posse. Shout out to Michael Preston, who was my coach back then. And we traveled around the country. We went down to Reno. We went down to Vegas, won all the tournaments. We went to nationals and placed 16th in the entire country. This is up to my 8th grade year. Back then on the team was like Jerry Boston, Lavelle Brown, Alvin Burleson. We were a dope squad. Like you had to be top notch to even make it. Thank God I was top notch at the time, right? So over time, other people kept growing and I didn't. And so basketball, I said I should probably stick to music. But the blessing of that was it impacted me, right? Traveling, seeing the impact of sports, it changed my world, allowed me to touch the country. I went to Indiana. I got to travel all these places, sports, and more importantly, I got some life lessons that I never would have got about discipline, character, teamwork, all these things that you need for life. And so as I got older, I was doing a clothing line called Adonai with a friend of mine, Dana Tage, shout out to him. And I was doing this clothing line and we wanted a way to promote it. So I would be in the barbershops. And in the barbershops, we would argue Garfield Franklin, Rainier Beach, O'Day. But we wouldn't just argue about the teams. We would argue like, well, if this guy from 95 played with this guy from 98 and they were all on the same team, who would win? And then the light just went off in my head. I was like, ooh, what if I did an alumni tournament? And I got all the players from Garfield to come play together, all the players from Franklin, all from Rainier Beach, all from O'Day. And so I created it. It was called the Adonai Hood Classic. It was a massive game. We did it for about a decade. It would be Jamal Crawford, Nate Robinson, all those guys, Lodrick and Roderick, Brandon Roy from Garfield, Jason Terry and Peyton Siva, and Aaron Brooks for Franklin. Like everybody comes back, puts on their jerseys, and these guys will go to war. And it got so big, Sports Illustrated called it the West Coast version of the Rucker. ESPN did pieces on it. It was just a really, really massive, dope tournament. And so I was just blessed to kind of have it be my brainchild and to see it come to fruition.
Yeah, you remember Mitch Johnson?
Yes.
You know, it was funny.
He played in the Hood Classic. Yes, he did.
Where is he now?
Head coach of the San Antonio Spurs, baby.
Isn't that crazy?
Wild.
I mean, when you think about the Spurs and Pop and everything else, and then you're like, okay, to your point, local boy, you know, your homie, he's what? And it's amazing. Yeah. So what's the next week and a half? Well, next 2 weeks look like for you?
Woo! Next 2 weeks are crazy. I am doing podcasts every day, all day. So podcasts, television appearances. The calendar is full. Seattle people. So I'm gonna be in Seattle for the rest of this week, just kicking it with the homies. And when I say the homies, I mean Cairo and Como and you and everybody, and doing Seattle press. Then I'm jumping on a plane. We got to go down to the Bay Area. We got to do it big. We got to do press, media. I got some performances, some appearances. So this song has gone out of orbit. People want it, are plugged into it, want to be a part of it. So we're just kind of leaning into that. And then we're going to win the Super Bowl. That's what I got. We about to win the Super Bowl. And then after that, I'm coming back home for the parade. You know what I mean? So the party don't stop. The party don't stop.
No, it don't. Well, okay. We got to, I know you're busy, but look, I'll see you down there in, I'll see you in San Francisco. I might see you here, but it's a little tight. You know what? I just really, really want to thank you for, carving out some time, I know you probably had to squeeze us in, but that's who you are, and we appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Listen, brother, thank you for having me. And listen, anytime, 1,000 times over, and I mean it, if you're like, yo, pull up, let's get it. Anytime you want to do it, holla at me, man. Let's do it. And matter of fact, I'm coming back when the album drops. I'm calling, hey, I need to get on the show. Let's talk sports and music, and let's do all of that.
That's what you do at your house. You walk in. You don't be like waiting for an invite. All right. Well, lastly, where can they find? They can find you anywhere, but any specific place you want them to tap into?
Tapping me on Instagram. That's the where it's on and popping at the Draze Experience on Instagram. Pull up, man. Show me some love. I'll show it back. And keep representing and rocking with the show.
Thank you, and say hello to my mining. All right, make sure
absolutely, bro.
Hello.
Peace and love, y'all.
Love you, bro. Take care.
Love you too.
All right. So there he goes. How fortunate are we to have Draze come on the show? M.O.B. 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 Yeah, it's a catchy tune. So I see it, D-Money. All right, we are gonna go on break. And then we will come on and we'll break down the Seahawks win, the X's and the O's part. Got some player interviews from inside the locker room. We'll hear from Mike McDonald from yesterday's press conference. And that's a wrap for the first 30 minutes. We'll be right back.
listening to Rainier Avenue Radio,
your community radio station.
A new law is helping people save more money on prescription drug costs. You may also be able to save with Medicare's Extra Help program. Your premium cost can be zero and your out-of-pocket expenses are low. Who should apply? Single individuals earning less than $23,000 a year or married couples earning less than $31,000 a year. Even if you don't think you qualify, you can still check out this program. Visit ssa.gov/extra help. Medicare costs are covered by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This is Big Poppy, host of Jazz from the Cabinet. Join me for a weekly eclectic journey through the past 100 years of jazz. From Louis Armstrong to Theo Crocker, from Eric Dolphy to Shabaka Hutchings, from John Kirby to Christian McBride, from Ahmad Jamal to Brad Meldau, and from Max Roach to Micaiah McCraven. Jazz from the Cabinets with Big Poppy on Rainier Avenue Radio.world premieres every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and is rebroadcast Thursdays at 3 p.m., overnight from Friday to Saturday at 2 a.m., Saturday morning at 10 a.m., and Sunday evenings at 5 p.m.
Greetings. This is your host, DJ Neftali, Rainier Avenue Radio.world, the best DJ in the Seattle area. You can catch me every Monday at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Like I said, this is DJ Neftali, the best reggae in Seattle, Washington, the best radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Come on, right?
This February, history comes alive in our community. Rainier Avenue Radio proudly presents the 2026 Call to Conscience Black History Month celebration, a month-long experience honoring the people, places, and stories that shaped Seattle and the nation. From powerful exhibits and live conversations to original storytelling, performances, and community dialogues, Call to Conscience connects past, present, and future. Told by us, for us. Experience the Black History Month Museum, special tribute, live radio broadcasts, family programming, and voices from across generations, all centered on truth, culture, and legacy. This isn't just an event, it's a call to remember, a call to honor, a call to act. Join Rainier Avenue Radio and our community partners this February at the historic Columbia City Theater. For the full schedule of events and updates, visit calltoconscience.org. Call to Conscience 2026, where history speaks and the community listens.
Here with the Rainier Avenue Radio traffic update. You can listen to us in your car 24/7 anytime by downloading the free TuneIn app. Once you do, search Rainier Avenue Radio. And remember, do not curse out your fellow drivers. Rainier Avenue Radio traffic update.
We're back, Seattle Sports Weekly, and again, got a shout out and thank you to Draze Maraire. That is my cousin, nephew from Zim, and he's now Seattle, but Zimbabwe. Now he's in LA doing his thing, and we heard the song, "The Dark Side." It is. It's hype week. I mean, there's not really much else that we can go and not do and talk about the Seahawks. As you know, the Seahawks will play the New England Patriots. What a fitting kind of rematch, if you will. And I haven't quite done all my I'll start that. Excuse me, my game by game in terms of the stats and everything else. But thought it was interesting that Mike McDonald will play that a little bit, that he said, tongue in cheek, that they haven't started the process. He was asked yesterday, I think it's in the clip, how many Patriots games have you watched? And he said that he's only watched 5 plays. I'm not going to say the man is a liar, but man, the attention to detail, the meticulous way, you already know. You know that they started scouting them. Both teams had the 12-4 record, but let's do this. D-Money, it's the first one. Let's play this first video here. I don't know if we can see it, but it's basically from after the game. And I'll fast forward and just get really to what the players said in the locker room. Kind of take you into.
Seahawks are headed to Super Bowl 60 after a thrilling 7 win over the LA Rams.
That's amazing scene.
The Seahawks chair, Jody Allen.
Yeah, what made that rise?
GM, John Snyder, head coach.
And you don't see Jody Allen come out and attend the game or open announce. But he raised the flag and she was there. That's how magical this was.
And was it something specifically that he said?
And it got to come through Lumen, and we're headed to San Francisco. Let's get it.
Let's get it. That's right. Congratulations, man.
Take us through this game. That you were able to do that.
So that's a game of football, and the great players, whenever you have setbacks or moments where you feel like you wasn't great, you always know gonna be even more greater moments. And I feel like that's been the story of the season, man. We've been through so much this year, and we just been so much of a great team that even when the little obstacles got in our way, it was like nothing to us when it was time to shake back. And I feel like that's what make our wins, hold a lot more weight. Just because those losses and those little mistakes that we had, you know what I'm saying, we hold on to those. But that way, when we win and we out there being successful, it means a lot more.
What did it mean for Mike McDonald to leave you in there after the Tawny penalty? Some coaches might have pulled you out, but he was like, no, I'm rolling my guy.
So he was gonna leave me in regardless. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta be smarter. I made a great play. You know what I'm saying? Every coach will coach that play and say that was an amazing play. I gotta be better and celebrate with my teammates. I already got Tawny penalties early this season, so I gotta be smarter.
I mean, after the Tawny penalty, not the play.
So honestly, it's our attitude, man. Like a coach like a competent player, you just gotta be smart when you're out there being a competent player.
And just what can you say about the team, and also just what this realism took for the defense?
You see what I'm saying? You know what it is. Hey, but I mean, we just stayed together, man. We played 12 as one. How we preach every day. We went about our business the right way. We made the plays that came to us. We knew it was gonna be a hard-fought game, but I mean, we came out there in battle, man. We won that game. So shout out to my guys, man. But we laid down the game plan. We just executed today.
What does it mean for the team to get into the Super Bowl?
I mean, it means everything, bro. You work at this for a long time. Ultimately, this is the end goal. This is what you want to do. You just want to be in this position to be able to win, be able to go to the Super Bowl, also win it. But mean everything to it, man. To see our hard work pay off, it means everything.
This is the number one offense. You stopped the one offense. It takes all three phases: the D-line, middle linebacker, 12 as one. What can you say about that?
Like I said, man, we had a great game plan laid out for them. I think we went out there and executed. I think we could have played a lot better game. We had a lot of self-inflicted wounds. We'll go back and watch the tape and get ready to correct it for sure. But you talking about a group of guys who just have each other back no matter what happens, no matter the circumstance. I mean, that's us right there. So shout out to our guys.
I don't really know what to say. I'm incredibly proud of our team. I'm happy for the 12s, happy for our city. What an atmosphere, just to be able to take it in after and understand what our team's been able to do up to this point and how they've done it. We're just blessed, just really blessed that we got a heck of a group and a great organization and a great owner and the best fans. So it's humbling too. It's just pretty awesome, It's just I don't know, I'm kind of speechless, but just really, really proud of our guys. It's a team win. We didn't play our best game on defense. We made enough plays to win. You got to give them a lot of credit. They had a great game plan. Did some things we weren't ready for. We had to adjust again. Par for the course for their offense, and it's a team win. Special teams had to pick it up. The drive at the end on offense was just tremendous. I thought Clint called a great game, and then you can't talk about the game without talking about our quarterback. And he just shut a lot of people up tonight, so I'm really happy for him. It's real, just synergy, people buying in, doing it together. We're not made up, we don't have a bunch of superstars and all that. We're just a really good football team that's tough and connected, doesn't blink and plays the whole game. Actually didn't even execute that play well on the fourth down, but he just covered his guy forever and just refused to let his guy catch the ball. And that's who he is. It really takes also we talk about George Helani not playing for however many weeks, coming in, practicing for 1 week, getting ready to play, making some big time plays for us. Just, Cam Akers coming in and playing, just really awesome. Example of, like, you can't press, and you can't just try to go like hunt. You can't try to.
Thanks, Brian. We good, sir.
What you can do is just keep playing on a play-by-play basis and go through your reads and go through your progressions and take sack if you need to, throw it away when you need to, and just do that over and over again. And we got great players that, when the ball finds them, they're going to make plays for the team. The NFC Championship gets a touchdown. Some whispers before the game, like, how cool would it be if Coop scored a touchdown today? And he did, so. We love him. He's the best. He was always optimistic that he was in great and kept getting better, but I think I'm not going to put words in Sam's mouth, but just trying to be as smart as possible to get him ready to play. And he's confident. And to come out the way he played, barely practicing, it was just barely throwing the ball. It was really incredible. It's like, should go down as one of the best performances in playoff history, I imagine. I mean, it's hard to stack it, but
last
I can't
question.
imagine anybody playing any better. He's been the same guy since he walked in the door, so like, you don't want me writing the stories because I would not write the narratives that are out there. I'd be really boring. Like, this guy's the man, and his teammates love him, and he's competitive as crap, and he's tough, and he's really talented, and he's a winner. That would be the story.
You come back to Seattle more as a leader. What does this moment present for you and the team?
I mean, it's awesome, bro. Everybody know me. No, it ain't never been about me. You know what I mean? It's always been about the team. It's always been about the team's success. And for me, being able to take a back seat, you feel me, and just be there for the guys, I kind of feel like a proud uncle, you know what I mean? Coming back and seeing all my guys grow up and, just being there to support them, it's been awesome. So, I don't take these moments for granted.
What did you say to Tariq Woolen after the play? Because I think on TV they saw you walking over there.
Yeah. I mean, I just told him, next play, you know what I mean? Like, it's really the next play. With Reek, you got to love Reek up, you know what I mean? And he knew he made a mistake, you know what I mean? And I've been there for him before, and I just kind of know how to talk to him. I know how to talk to Nick. And these guys respect me, for who I am, not kind of what I'm doing right now.
This moment.
It means a lot. We came a long way from OTAs, and as a team, we worked hard to be here, you know what I'm saying? So, and we all believe, we went through a lot of trials, but, you go through that and we're here.
George Helani comes in, Sam, you get a lot of players that persevered, and 12-1, as Mike likes to talk about.
Yeah, that just shows who we are as a team, We got a lot of warriors on this team. You go defense, offense, special teams, and straight warriors. So, you know what I'm saying? We showed that tonight.
Ken, you're going to the Super Bowl. You're going to the Super Bowl. What does that mean?
It means a lot, bro. A lot of people can't say that in their career, that they made it to the Super Bowl. And, we can say that. We're going to try to get this win.
Leaning on each other in those moments, we've been doing that all year. We call it the death zone. We get in those moments where it's the moment of truth. We just got to go out and perform, man. We all stuck together. We all leaned on each other. We was able to get it done.
Yeah, you give up, I think, that could have got 300-plus yards or whatnot, but yet that fourth down stop, the blade of grass, we've talked about it. Just, is that what the death zone looks like when it shows up?
That's exactly what it is. Being in, situations that you wouldn't want to be in or normally in, you got to have a stop. You got to get the ball back. You got to play hard. We were able to come out on top today.
We've seen you on the side during training camp and also practices, working on that hamstring machine, I think it is, or whatever. Yeah. And I know just one about you and the team. What does it mean for you to be such a leader on this team and come back?
It means a lot. Just the injuries I've gone through, the hardships I've gone through, man, just to see it all pay off at the end like this. It's not over, but just to see us, just get to that point, climb that mountaintop. It's just so surreal, and I'm just so grateful.
Going to the Super Bowl, obviously, like you said, this is one more step, right?
Yeah.
What did it take for this team to get there?
It took us. It took what we've been doing. It took us being ourselves, doing what we've been doing, our preparation, our training, our togetherness, everything that we built. It took all that. It took the fans.
How'd you take it to get down there?
Just give us the opportunity to go there, go finish the job, and finish the mission that we set out for.
The resiliency and commitment from the defense and offense. Offense, obviously, Sam, and then George Helani coming on the defense and making that that fourth and the fourth down stop there.
Yeah.
Just what can you say about this team?
Man, when you're on our team, when you're part of the 12s, we believe in each other, and we know we got to do our job play after play to get the job done. So just kudos to everyone in our locker room and the fans. Shout out to Lumen, man. It was rocking, and it's a huge advantage for us.
Guys just hanging out together outside the field, just trusting and believing in one another. I feel like this team's definitely special in all aspects, offense, defense, special teams, and just the bond we have together is definitely special.
I think a lot of fans out there want to know, how are you feeling?
I'm well. We got to win today. 2 weeks to the next game, so take care of my body and be ready for that.
Great. And also, I was talking to Kenneth Walker earlier, and his season just exploded. He's so great. I know you guys lost Zach Charbonnet, and I'm sorry for that. But, what have you guys done up front to open things up for him?
He's a great guy, man. He comes in each and every day and goes to work for us, and, just do the same thing for him. The way he runs the ball, the way he prepares, it's unwavering. Kudos to him. He does everything the right way.
Is there any sort of satisfaction that comes with beating back-to-back NFC West opponents in the playoffs?
The goal is to go 1-0 each week, so we did that this week. So we gotta go to the next.
Okay, yeah, okay. You haven't developed a hatred quite yet, like the fans have. But congratulations, and if there's anything you could say to the 12s that are listening out there, what would it be?
Y'all were great today. The stadium was live, electric. When I walked back in the locker room, my ears popped. So shout out to y'all. I love y'all to us.
You heard his ears, folks. You heard it here first. Thank you so much. Congrats.
I just want to know how I can get an Arby's burger. Is that cool? What one of those?
Shout out to K9. He looks out for his old lineman. Got us hooked up with some cool Arby's jackets. K9 looked out for us for sure.
What did it take for you to get back on the field today? All week. You didn't practice the first two.
Yeah. Coming this week, I knew I was going to play. Just working with the training staff, just creating a plan to be able to play today, and being able to execute that. They did a great job. Did a great job working together and being able to execute that.
What does it feel like in the offense when you can finish the drive like that in the end?
It's huge, especially last drive. Get some time off the clock and being able to run the ball and really finish. Mistakes here and there, but watch the film and correct it and move on from it.
All right, so there you go. You saw the locker room interview, and all right, we'll cut that short. You don't hear the report because we're live, but wanted to give you, as we always like to do, the insight, the locker room and the players. And yeah, you heard Charles Cross talk about the RB's jackets, and I'd asked Ken Walker about those. So he got a contract, and so he's hooking up his offensive lineman. It was, if you caught that, Charles Cross said, "Hey, I was going to play all week," and so I knew that. But sometimes those things we know that we just can't really, say out loud or or write, because it's you get some insight, and so when you get insight, you want to keep it. Don't want to be the one to break out the news that Charles Cross says he's going to play and give the other team a competitive advantage. We're objective. We are, as journalists, that's what we do, but you also have to stay, be cautious and don't reveal your sources. Let me do this. I'm throwing a video at you, but this one I think is more for Mike McDonald yesterday, kind of talking about a little bit about the game and then what's next for the Seahawks. And he'll say it, but I'll tell you what that looks like is. So they're off. The players came in yesterday to the VMAC, and after the game, that's when they start getting the rehab and everything else. And when they get done with that, then today, they're off today, which is Tuesday, and they're off Wednesday. Then they come back Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then they will fly to Santa Clara on Sunday. And it is public knowledge they'll be staying in San Jose. That's where you'll see, we'll throw you some, I'll be, interviews and things like that. I have to fire my, thanks, Damon. I have to fire my travel agent because that's me, by the way. Wasn't thinking. So we won't have a show next Tuesday because I'll be traveling on Tuesday. right when the show is supposed to happen. But hey, on the way down there. But as I said, Seahawks will be in San Jose. That's where they will kind of their headquarters, and the Patriots will be in Palo Alto. So there you go. And just we'll be in San Francisco at the Moscone Center. That's where a lot of these events are going on. But what else can I tell you? Let me go back to the practice. You got to be careful with it, give you the public stuff. But I know going back to Seahawks schedule, that's of interest to you. Yeah, they will, though they come back on Thursday, it'll be a Wednesday, right? So it's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's normally the regular season kind of schedule for a team. What am I saying? Wednesdays with the coach talks, and also you get some players that talk, and then they'll practice, but we're hearing it's probably going to be a walkthrough, so it'll be an estimated one. And then their Friday, again, is like a Thursday, so probably the coordinators will talk, so you see a lot of quotes on that. As I said, again, Saturday will be the normal Friday, which normally means the coach will talk only. And then they will, as I said, get down there to Santa Clara. Yes, I mean, if the question is yes, I will be at the Super Bowl. As I said, I'm leaving Tuesday. And yeah, we're trying to see if we can still get a spot on Radio Row, but definitely we'll be bringing. Yeah, you on YouTube. Yeah, if you haven't signed up to the YouTube channel, please do, because I'll be posting all kind of stuff up there all week long. And of course, you know, pregame, postgame, all those things, locker room interviews, they'll all be up there as they normally are. And then I think probably the following Tuesday we'll be back on, and we'll do kind of a maybe not, because I think they will do a locker room clean out that Tuesday. And I know if they win, I do believe this is so way ahead. But if they win, I believe, you know, the parade would be Wednesday-ish, but I do not hold me to account. I can tell you about the X's and the O's, but as far as kind of those logistical planning, that's between city, you know, managers, SPD, and all those kind of things. So hey, I'm gonna leave that alone. My early take on here is, look, the Patriots are the number 2 seed, 14-3, quarterback Drake May. It'll be a challenge, but the Seahawks are no, any spare press passes. Sorry, y'all. They do have a running back, and I think, you know, the Seahawks have been real good about that, and that is Ramondre Stevenson, real good running back. But the Seahawks, you know, they've been good against the run. So let me tap into this. We're probably gonna hold off the college report right now. Let's go to this video here, D-Money, the last one you have, because I want to get everybody to hear what Mike McDonald said yesterday and leading up to the Patriots.
All right. Don't really have anything for you, so go ahead. Well, I think that's part of the message this week with the guys is there's going to be a lot that's under our control that we can keep it within our process, but there's going to be some things that are going to be different, and that's okay. But the things that is going to stay the same is like our approach to every day and like what the intent of the day or the walkthrough or whatever we're trying to achieve that day is. So today's kind of one of those things like where you got to go over some logistics, which is some exciting stuff, but it's also something that we want to get out ahead of. So when it's time for football, we can be focused on football.
What does this week look like for you guys schedule-wise?
The guys are going to be off. Well, they're in today for some logistic stuff. We just kind of put last night's game to bed. Got the food trucks out there, which is exciting. Off for a couple days, and then we'll start like a normal week cadence on Thursday. I believe we're traveling on Sunday. So.
And then it seems like with Super Bowl coaches, there's different schools of thought about like how much of the game plan you want to give that first week before you take off. What's your?
We're working through that. Definitely different schools of thought. To your point, I'm talking to some folks today. Talking to our coordinators on how we want to operate. We're still working through how exactly we want to do it. And frankly, I think it's going to be something that we're going to navigate as these 2 weeks kind of present itself too. So But the bulk of the work will happen this week, and then we'll go from there.
Are you going to consult with John Harbaugh on how he did Super Bowl?
I haven't talked to John yet, but at some point I probably will. Yeah.
What kind of, when you went back and watched the tape of it, what's something that kind of caught your eye and made kind of, when you saw it from above, kind of made you stand out to you?
I just think the way our guys play is just proud of our effort and how we play. Just really you can kind of go through each position group, each guy, and point to plays where, as maybe as insignificant as it seemed in that moment, how it played into the bigger picture, and that's really cool. It just shows you the power of like the collective effort that the guys had. So really proud of their effort.
Have you had the fourth down play from that where the picture shaking quite a bit?
Oh yeah.
You talk a lot of weeks of
it was electric, and I mean, even after during the celebration, I don't think anybody left. The whole stadium was still packed, just cheering for everybody. It was just an incredible showing by the 12s.
Have you had any time you have to look at New England or anything like that? Or?
I think I've watched like 5 plays. Well, no, because normally, the way the schedule is, at some point, everyone's kind of mix and match the same way, where you end up playing like common opponents throughout the year or so, and even in the playoffs it might happen to you where you're playing another division that you weren't like matched with. So this one, this is kind of unique from my experience at least, but you're only talking about 10 to 12 years here. Well, I think it's a tribute to our guys. I mean, it was something that like at this point last year, as we were finishing up the season, I think the buy-in of like understanding of what we were trying to achieve was there, and the guys were excited about it. I felt like maybe towards the last part of the season they started to feel like what we could build and the possibility of doing it, and so maybe like the initial intention was there, and then really it's a team effort, coaches included, strength staff included. Once they're in the building, creating an environment where they feel like they can really take it to the next level. And I mean, I think offensively we might have been 100% dang near every day, which is awesome, especially with the new staff. So it's really incredible. He had a lot of great runs. He really did, and a lot of talk about hidden yardage within that game, and he's responsible for a lot of those hidden yards. So I mean, I'd like to block him a little bit better at points, but when you have a guy like K9, he can make it right for you. So that was awesome. I think it's a similar message that we have with the rest of our players. I'm thinking like with Sam as well. It's just, hey, like go be decisive, and then let's go fix it from there. And I think you've seen Ken's game go to the next level throughout the course of the season. And again, if you change up your messaging on him and you say, hey, like you have to run it like this all the time, but you don't get some of those runs that his natural ability takes over. So there's a balance there, and it's kind of like the secret sweet spot that you're searching for a guy like him.
All right, so there you go. We're running out of time. The Call to Conscience Black History Month Museum opens here at the Columbia City Theater next month, starting February 14th, Thursdays and Fridays from 3 to 7 p.m., and Saturdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. All right, and then help make community broadcast by donating on Venmo at Rainier Avenue Radio World. And really, 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 hey, you all, your Seahawks are in the Super Bowl. Enjoy all of it, and go to YouTube if you can, or cascadesports.net, and then we'll go from there. Enjoy. You've earned it, Seattle fans. See you.